to the Bleeding Burgundy podcast, a Washington football podcast by fans for fans. With your hosts, Jesse Martin.
You want to play what? Okay. Say hello to my little friend.
John Taman.
Quiet, numbskulls, I'm broadcasting.
And Keith Gray.
The King, your Majesty.
And now here's your host, John Taman.
Hey everybody, and welcome once again to another slapdick edition of the Bleeding Burgundy podcast. This is episode number 71, and we have a very special treat for everyone. Everyone in the Washington, D.C. area, dare I say in the entire United States of America and overseas, are waiting incredibly impatiently on the new name of the Washington football team. And I got to tell you guys know it. We've been very quiet all week long. We were chosen out of thousands of Washington football team podcasts, of which, goddamn, every fucking one of you has one. All right, thousands of them, to be the ones to drop the name first. And so here, I am proud to announce that we're going to announce the new name of the Washington football team before it gets to the Today Show, and we're going to do it right now. The new name of the Washington football team on 3, 2, 1.
Hogs.
Wait a minute, that's not right. 3, 2, 1. Red Tail.
Hogs. Commanders.
Right. Okay, you know what, everybody? We what do you mean what? Don't you get what we're trying to do?
Wait, it's the Defenders. It's the Defenders.
Armada.
Yeah, no, I don't think so. It's got to be
President.
It's the fucking brigade. It's the brigade.
Bro.
Goddamn, that's it.
All this misdirection. It's definitely the DCFC ABCDEFG Commando.
It's like look, all the sleuthing, and people are forgetting that Jason Wright has said that he's throwing misdirection everywhere. If I would have to put money on it, I don't think any of these names are going to be it. I don't think the Armadas or the Admirals are going to be it. I don't think the Commanders are going to be it.
How about the Beavers?
Hey, I'd be okay with the Beavers.
There's one that lives in the reflecting pool, right? Or is it still there? Did it die? I don't know.
Yeah. So, I honestly think this is all misdirection and everybody's playing CSI for no reason. But there's guarantees. There's people out there guaranteeing that they know the name of the team. And
yeah,
of course they know, because they all know, right?
Well,
just like we just
we can definitely debunk our good friend and fan Telly, who is 100% confident from his trusted source that the team name is Admirals, being the fact that reporter Darren M. Haynes contacted the person who is claiming the team name is Admirals.
Mm-hmm.
And he says that the story did not add up. I could not confirm the new name, but the person definitely came off like the information was true, but nervous his text got out.
Quote the gentleman he called. I can't fucking believe y'all called me. Christ. Oh my God, what a ridiculous bunch of stuff. I got to think that all this sleuthing that is going on, all this pre-announcement stuff that is going on, it's shit. Hold on.
It is making people go mad. I mean, absolutely mad. Which I'm not surprised. I mean, this is what happens anytime, the Making the Brand comes out. It just, what happens is as things are getting negated, names are getting negated from the list, then people move on to their next name of choice. Admirals definitely seem to pick up steam because of the internet redirect, but
right.
People who are not aware, and I'll admit I had no idea that you could do that. People
that you could do what?
Redirect.
Just pretend that you know the name?
No, you
can you redirect
too.
Oh yeah, they're very easy. A domain costs nothing or hardly anything, and to put a 301 redirect on it's very easy.
Now the interesting part is did someone from the team do that for misdirection? I think a lot of people also too, though, are looking a lot more into the misdirection more than what it is. I really don't think these guys have enough time in their day. Maybe they do. I could be wrong, but I don't think they have enough time.
There's a flunky that can do that shit.
I mean, they got marketing, a killer social media department that it's one of the things that have
One of the few
definitely
things that
gotten
they do
better
right.
throughout the year. So I think they do got time to do it, to be honest with you.
Well, of course.
It's like I was
there's
going to say.
there's somebody in the building to do it, but I guess anything
Look
is
at the attention
possible.
it's getting. Yeah, you do it. I mean, I think it's definitely possible. And yeah, it's not hard to do these things. And I think that for the attention that they're getting out of it is very good. And I think that what I was going to say before I started hacking my lungs out is the people going sleuthing and trying to figure out what this name is with all of these cryptic clues and everything like that. The fun thing about that for me is it's kind of like that when you go into Denny's and the fucking waitress when you were a kid would grab that placemat you could color on and a couple of crayons and give it to you. And that's the same thing that they've done with us. They've given us the placemat with a bunch of crayons and everybody's coloring it in and deciding what it's going to be.
Yeah.
Well, there's
That's
a couple
good.
there's a couple pictures that are out there that start to add up. You have Reddit, who released a W logo. And then no. And again, I'm not saying that this is what it is. I'm just saying Reddit releases a W logo, but that could be absolutely made up based upon the reflection in the window. So again, anything to make people believe, things are adding up now type of deal. And then you have the circle logo that says Commanders in the middle. And then people are going
all
back
those
to
could
the
be
picture of the jersey. And there's a perfect circle that's on the arm of the jersey.
All those could be mock-ups. They all could be mock-ups. We don't know when that stuff
It could
was
also
recorded
be people
or
that are
filmed.
just fucking around, right? All these folks on Reddit and shit like that. You know what? All the Washington football team fans are right now is a bunch of fucking really good fish on the line that you're just playing with and playing with and playing with.
Yeah.
As a graphic designer, I Photoshop all day. I can make anything look like anything.
Oh yeah.
If I want to say this is what that looks like and put a reflection in the window, I can do it and then drop a picture out and just watch everybody bite at it. Well, you know what? It's harmless and it's fun. Fuck it. I don't see what
that's kind of why I enjoy to stir the pot on it, because truthfully, at the end of the day, I have my general theories of what I think it is, but that means absolutely nothing. Like I said, I'm a glass half empty type of guy, and I just find it hard to believe. All in all, I find it very difficult to believe that once they started crossing names off the list, it made Commanders too easy to guess. Yeah. And something tells me this front office doesn't want to make it easy for people to guess. So it is what it is.
It's not like there's a plethora of cool names out there. It's going to have to be one of these, right? What are you going to call them? The jelly beans or something like that? It's going to have to be something worthwhile.
I'm kind of going on the hog side of it now, that I'm thinking that it might be. There's a lot of focus on the Commanders right now. There's even some focus on the Admirals, which I don't know where that name came from. It just kind of just popped up, but
no. You go from commander to captain and then you move to admiral. So we skipped around. Right.
Well, and then there's also, so not only did you have that website link redirect, but then there's also a don't quote me on where it came from.
No. You gotta reveal sources, buddy.
No, there's no sources here. It's on print somewhere. I just don't know where, and I don't really care. But it has Jason quoting. I want to say it's the website. Maybe it's the Making the Brand videos. I don't know. Either way, it says we understand the importance of choosing a meaningful name, one that will anchor, and anchor is in capital letters with gold.
Right.
Gold coloring, the team for the next 90 years and beyond. And then
admirals are generally anchored.
Commanders can be too.
Commanders are usually out to sea or up in the air. But
but why would he just drop a hint like that? Like,
this was out for a long time ago, though.
Yeah.
This was not something that just recently came out. So again, what's happening is after all these things are coming out, people are going back to day one. Yeah. And then they're trying to tie in together from day one of this name debate and trying to find hidden agendas that were being said. So it's a part of the game that's fun. But here's the thing. Jason also learned real quick about this fan base on social media. I'm not talking about the people that don't participate in Twitter. Jason learned real quick from making the brand video 1 to 2 that this is what we're going to do. So I highly believe that making the brand 3, he had a good time putting some misdirection together in that video for sure.
Oh, sure.
I got news for you. It's not just our fan base. It's pretty much all of America that does this kind of shit nowadays with the freaking
I'm
media
just
and everything
keeping
like
it
that.
to...
I would suggest that since we are a Washington football team podcast of some high repute, that you get on the phone and call Jason right now and ask him to confirm these statements.
Man, I would, but I don't have Jason's number.
Don't lie to us. Come on.
Nope.
Get out of here.
We only communicate through DM, and 98.9% of the time it's me sliding into his.
I'm pretty sure that's true.
That is true.
That is true. So I guess you don't need to exchange numbers to, slide a room key between each other.
Whoa. Jason,
Sorry.
if you're listening, this is not true. But we
All right.
also know that you're a very busy man and you don't listen to this nonsense.
So right now, I'm probably leaning in terms of what I believe is to be about 75% Commanders. What about you, Jesse?
I mean, maybe I don't know. I don't have a percentage. I honestly don't think it's going to be Commanders or any of the names that are really being talked about. Besides maybe the Hogs, just because they made a point to want to fall back on the legacy of when this team was really good. That's the only thing that I can think of name that would be relevant to going back to the past, which they've stated many times that they want to try and do. I would say maybe 50%, maybe 50%.
If you're talking misdirection, nothing that we've seen would suggest Hogs.
I'm going to tell you right
Sure.
now, though. Sure, I agree.
Yeah.
Like, listen, Hogs didn't even pick up steam until a month ago, and I think
There was a couple of people that were saying it when they were trying to go through it, but you're right. You're right about that.
Yeah, Hogs did pick up a little bit of steam, but I also think the name was already selected by then. So I don't know. For me, I'm kind of with John. I'm 75% Commanders based upon my personal conversations that I've had with certain people, but that really doesn't mean anything at this point. I just keep going back to when Jason and looking at this last video, knowing that Joe Gibbs was the main host there, and really this video was talking about the Redskins history and how important that is to incorporate this name. I just can't see that with Commanders. I can't. That's why I struggled with Wolves. It's why I struggled with Command. It's why I'm struggling with all these names. And the only reason why I'm like, okay, Hogs. A lot of people are like, oh, you like Hogs because of hog farmers.
No,
That
Jesus
helps.
Christ. The hog farmers are called the hog farmers because of the hogs, not the other way
Correct.
around.
Correct.
Yeah.
And don't get me
You don't even
wrong,
have
that
to be smart to
helps.
figure that
And
out.
yeah, that helps. And it's awesome. But at the end of the day, like, I just don't see how you can get Redskins history with Commanders, Admirals, Sentinels, Sentinels. Yeah. Sentinels, all these team names, presidents, belters, all these goofy names that we've heard over the past year.
That just goes around the DC itself, just because it's the headquarters of our military. But yeah, as far as the team goes, it's Hogs or nothing when it comes to the history and connecting to the past.
You're right.
My opinion.
And a lot of people are like, well, Hogs are, offensive linemen. Why not, the posse or the fun bunch or this or that, just naming off all
the
these
Washington
groups.
Posse. We're going to be the Washington Posse.
The Hogs are
Well,
identity.
Well,
Right.
and
They all-
exactly. And I was going to say,
but the Hogs
none of
were
those
the team's
names,
identity.
none of those names revert to an animal, which is typically a logo. It doesn't
Yeah.
necessarily mean it is, obviously, with Steelers, Packers,
Right.
Titans, but just ultimately overall, I feel like that's the only. It's not an attractive name, and I would say that yes,
Hogs isn't bad.
it isn't
guys-
bad.
I see y'all.
I'd rather have the
remember-
Hogs than the
you remember-
Admirals.
But so
Some-
right.
I'd rather
and
have pretty
some of
much
the-
anything than the Admirals.
And that's what I was going to say. Last episode, Jesse said, I just can't see myself wearing a pig on a shirt. But
see, that's the thing. They
can make that pig
badass. Right.
Right.
What they used to do, the way they marketed hogs back in the day for us for the T-shirts and all that kind of shit, was that they were this mean, nasty thing down in the mud that was just going to kick your ass. And the shirts weren't bad. They didn't look bad. To be fair,
though, I did see some goofy T-shirts.
Some of them were, sure. Everything was. It's like
where they were pigs and not meant to look mean.
Fucking dog farts. Shit.
But in today's, in today's world,
you're like what, 60% on dog farts now?
I mean,
watching the dog fart? Is that where we're at?
59%, close to 60.
Go look up dog fart in the Urban Dictionary. You're not going to like what you see.
So, like I said, I can't see all these weird names that have been on this list doing exactly what Jason has stood for since he's been brought on and been in charge of, getting Code and Theory on board, which a lot of people don't know. But Code and Theory is actually a huge, reputable
100%
branding organization that I know the team had paid millions upon millions of dollars to bring them in and to do their research. That's the thing. They had to do the research, one, not just for copyrights, but just to make sure that this name can last for the next 50 years.
It's a viable name, right? 100 years.
Then when you agree to a name, which in my opinion has to come from Dan Snyder, and I feel like people are giving Jason Wright too much credit that
Dan's got to have. He's got the final on this.
He's got the final 100%. What happens is
he should have the final on this. As much as I hate him, he owns the team.
100%. And that's the
just
thing.
Don't fuck it up, Dan.
And that's the thing. Well, they don't listen to us fans. Well, honestly, they don't have to. And the theory
that's pretty much it right there. They don't.
And the
have
theory
to.
The theory that I used is okay. I mean, we all go to shop at Walmart, right? Just because we shop at Walmart doesn't give us the right to rename it.
Yeah.
So
rename Walmart. I would. Though. It's a terrible name.
Well, it's enough to where they're getting billions of dollars, so I don't think they care.
No, I don't think they're going to listen to me.
But anyways, my point is it's really hard. It's really hard to listen. I've only focused on what Jason has said when it comes to team history. And I just can't see it with any of these names unless we go with Hogs. And again, I like Hogs because honestly, I haven't heard anything better. When I say heard anything better, as far as it really tying in with
there isn't anything
history.
Else. When you think about it, really, when you go back to when you look back at the history of the Washington Redskins, most of it sucks. All right.
Yeah.
From about 1930 on up to about 1945, we were okay. But then shit, for freaking almost 20 years, just jack shit, nothing. We had like one winning season in 20 years in the 50s and the early 60s.
And that goes for most teams, that
are as old as we are. Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So except for the Packers, maybe. But the fact of the matter is, from the 70s to about 1990, 91, 92 was the last gasp.
Mm-hmm.
We were the Over the Hill Gang and the Hogs, right?
Yeah.
You can't call it the Over the Hill Gang.
And listen,
right? Nobody's going to reference to that.
And listen, people always revert back to the glory years, right?
Those are the glory years.
Me personally, 91 is really the only game in season that I can truthfully tell you that I remember. I can't go back to the 87. I was so young.
Right.
You know what I mean? So even I really haven't seen the glory years. I came at the end of it all, really, to be honest. So
I saw it. I watched the Super Bowl 17 in a bar in Biloxi, Mississippi.
I was. I remember that Super Bowl clearly. I was.
Which one?
17.
Against the Dolphins.
Not 17. The 20. Doug Williams won 26.
22.
No, that was 22.
22. Oh, wait, 26 was the Rippin one.
26 was
Rippin. My parents went to a Super Bowl party and they all the kids went to this apartment for babysitting. I was pissed off because they wouldn't let me watch the game, so I snuck out of the house to the neighbors and watched out his window, watched the fucking the whole entire game, sitting on a fucking bench, watch the whole fucking game, sitting outside in the cold. Because they wouldn't put it on in the house. Yeah, my parents, when growing up, Sunday, it's a religion. we sit and we
Yeah.
fucking watch the games, and I remember that very distinctly.
Well, I'll tell you what, from that time period, when you think about and you talk about the Hogs, right? And like I said, that was the identity of that football team from about 82 all the way through the whole glory run there, all the way up through 91. Okay, that was the Hogs. And when you think about the Hogs, the thing that comes to mind is this grinded out running game, this John Riggins pile over everybody running game, this George Rodgers running game, this Ernest Biner running game. But the fact of the matter is, they threw the ball all over the goddamn field. When you look at the big plays that we think about when we think about those teams, other than John Riggins run around the end,
Yeah.
big pass plays in Super Bowls, Mark Rippon freaking flinging it down.
Flinging it
whole
down.
night.
It wasn't even just the
That
Super
whole
Bowl that season. The whole entire season was that way. He was tossing
flinging
the
it
ball
all over the place. Right.
all over.
Right, and it's a good thing because if you ever saw him throw a short pass, oh my God, you'd never think he could play football in your life. The dude couldn't hit anything under 5 yards. So that's the thing when you talk about history and you think about what actual is and what is the fantasy. I don't want to say fantasy, but the legend that has built up. Those Hogs definitely are there, but it's not really what the identity of the team was, even though that's what it's known for.
Yeah.
If that makes sense. I can remember the 83 season, which Joe Theismann was throwing it all over the fucking place. I mean, flinging it. They used to do this thing called sprint bomb where they'd do this friggin' he'd roll out to the right and Art Monk be flying down the sideline on the whole other side of the field. And Theismann would throw it maybe 40 yards, but 25 yards across the field. It'd be like 65, 70 yards in the air. He's throwing these things. And then they'd get down to the 1 yard line and John Riggins would punch it in 26 times for a record, Anyway.
So
I'm on Commanders right now. Go ahead, Jesse.
What do you the logo that came out that could possibly be the logo or not be
the one
logo?
that was on Jason's knee?
Yeah, what do you guys think about that? Yeah, what do you guys think about that?
That is way too busy to be a logo.
I thought so too. It's got too many lines in it. It's a little bit. There's a perfect word for it. Way too busy.
So the only thing I thought about that, I agree with you guys 100%. The only thing I thought about that is if you look on the sleeves of the Ravens, right? They have their very first logo, which is super busy, but they keep that on their sleeves. So that could be something that they're doing, but it's not the actual logo.
You can have a logo and an emblem.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah. Well, it's like the W. And I think they might be focusing on the W itself.
I agree.
But I do like how they had the points, like the last podcast with the picture behind me. I do like that part. But as far as it's kind of all those lines that are in it, it just makes it. It kind of makes it look like a clusterfuck.
The one that Keith put up today, tell me, that looks like a house of cards to me. That's what your foundation of a house of cards looks like. Is that
I would like to understand if that were the logo, what the purpose behind it is. Why? Well, yeah, but why? Well,
it almost looks like multiple W's.
It gives a 3D optical illusion type deal.
Oh, you're talking about the one that. Oh, yeah, you're talking about the one that looks like the house of cards. Not that thing you put up yesterday. It looked like an X and a K ran into each other.
Dude, that joke literally flew by everyone, including you, and I'm so surprised. Okay, first of all, the Washington Ambassadors, John, and everyone.
Oh no,
else
I didn't even think about that. I was looking at the drawing. I know
the drawing was horrible. It literally was drawn up in 2 minutes. And
you
yet
drew that
joke. No, I had someone else do it real quick. I'm like, hey, give me a goofy Washington Ambassadors logo. I'm going to put it out there since everyone hates the Ambassadors. I'll go ahead and put it out there. It's the Washington Ambassadors as a troll, stir the pot joke. And it literally went, whoo, which I know people that are listening, like Scott, will be like, well, your jokes aren't even funny.
Scott will have his attorney tell us what he thinks. That's the way it's
because it's not even funny. You're not even smart either. Anyways, so
I love Scott gives you such a hard time.
He gives me a hard time on everything. Like every tweet. I could literally just tweet out I farted, and he's gonna find some reason to.
That's all right. You know what I can tell about Scott is that Jesse. When I look at the timestamp when Jesse drops the show, Scott makes his first comment on like the last part of the show, literally like an hour and 10 minutes later.
Yeah.
That man, he puts it in his headphones and listens. So we love you, buddy.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So no, that literally was a very bad joke. I was hoping to rile up the crowd to hate us ambassadors because that's funny to me. But I think everyone right now is just so high on what's going on that it just Didn't even care.
I tell you what, the reason I didn't catch on as it a joke, because frankly, I expect better of you, and I really was. Now that you tell me that was a joke, I'm severely disappointed and really rethinking this friendship.
No, because it was funny reading your guys' comments as if I was actually serious, and that was a good-looking logo. Come on now.
You almost sound like one of those troll fellas.
What?
All right. So are we done with this with the name until the 2nd of February or what?
Yes.
Oh, by the way,
please.
speaking of it being
Probably
on
not,
the 2nd
but yeah.
of February, we should have Bill Murray announce it. He has no connection to the team, which is perfectly fine since none of this is having any connection to anything.
Let's talk about the Today Show real quick.
I was just gonna get into that.
Yeah, like so many people are shocker or upset that they're not announcing it. DC not letting DC media announce it.
Fuck DC
And
media.
exactly. Fuck DC media. I'm glad.
That's all they do is shit on the team.
Fucking glad they're not fucking fucking do that. All they do is shit on the fucking team. And this is a fuck you to them, and I love it.
Yeah, aside from the fact of what Keith gave us last week, is that the host of the Today Show is a fan and is one of these fan ambassadors. It's an audience of millions, you dumbasses.
Millions.
It's not your freaking your driving to work crew, all right, in the DC metro area, which is
when they made that man a fan ambassador, it was already when they made him a fan ambassador, that right there was already predetermined that they were going to do it on the Today Show.
Right. And this bullshit about, they're doing it in New York. Well, dude, you know that they can do remotes, right? They can put a camera anywhere. They can do it in Ashburn and show it on the Today Show.
Which is determining. So what time does the Today Show come on? When does it start?
It starts at it starts.
And when does it end?
Like 9. And then after that, we get a bunch of women talking and yapping and yipping and yapping.
Because I was going to say that they would, simulcast, or what is it?
I think it's probably going to be like 10 o'clock.
What is it? How do you say?
I think they're simulcast.
Yeah, right. It's a hard word to say.
Class.
Simulcast.
I was
going to say, any of you women out there like to yip and yap, I'm not trying to be offensive.
Because that's what I was thinking is like they would put on a FedEx event on that day, and they would have the Today Show obviously playing on the Jumbotrons, and they would make an event out of it, but that's too early. Like, you ain't going to catch me there at 7 a.m.
No, I'm not going to be there at 7 o'clock in the morning to watch the Jumbotron so they can say, here's how we make oatmeal cookies.
Well, no, they would have other stuff going on. Like, I know that they're planning on doing some stuff. I just don't know by then if it's going to make sense. I don't know.
I have an idea. How about we dress Dexter Manley up in a giant groundhog suit and have him run around, and then at the end, he can take off the head and surprise everybody.
His birthday.
Hey, it's on Groundhog's Day. That's another thing in the hogs department. Another little. Oh, maybe it's fucking the Washington Groundhogs.
Yeah, the groundhogs. That would be.
But you know what?
You look, if the DC is known for rats, why not call them rats? My God,
I don't know though.
That DC without seeing them.
That picture that that the team posted with Chase, McLaurin, and I forget who the third one was. None of those guys were offensive linemen, though. I don't know.
Oh yeah, wasn't it Charles Leno? He was here because he just signed a contract.
No, he wasn't in the.
I don't know.
No, they were wearing. Yeah, they were wearing 2/22 shirts, and the team posted it.
And who else was that?
Was it Gibson?
Was it Allen?
Allen. It was John Allen.
It was John Allen. Yep, you're right.
Yeah.
The faces of the franchise. I thought, speaking of McLaurin, now we're going to shift gears a couple of seconds here. All right. I saw a tweet today. I think it came from John Keim, or might even have been JP. I don't know. I don't know which one it was. But they asked Ronald Rivera about re-signing Terry McLaurin, and he said that the negotiations begin next week. And I'm like, why? Why hasn't this already started? Is there some kind of a rule because he's on a 3-year contract? He's not on the original.
No, he's on a 4-year contract. He's on a 4-year contract.
I don't put any stock into timing. I think it's just more of planning. I don't think it means anything.
No, not at all.
Come on,
they'll get him extended. So he's got one more season to go. He's on a 4-year contract.
All right, so they'll get him done. I sure as hell hope so.
Yeah,
I do agree with that.
As long as he wants to be here, they'll get him done.
The fans love him. and that's for
Sure.
sure. And I mean, granted, I see all these people they're pissed off about. Oh, what would happen if he got himself a quarterback? And why won't they get him a quarterback? Well, he does quite all right without a quarterback. He's been doing okay,
I
and I
saw
think
a
it's going to
tweet.
get him paid. So that I think right there is the bottom line for most players: get me paid, and then we'll worry about a Super Bowl.
There's someone, I'm going to pull it up right now.
Mhm.
Put out a tweet
Pull
saying
it up.
that
Name names.
Cornelius Kidwell. He says, "I'm not in a super rush to pay McLaurin a lot of money. A good player who works hard but doesn't crack the game changer level."
Corny Kidwell. Well, listen here, Corny. The fact of the matter is he's the only receiver on the field for the most part, especially this year. There's nobody else. He can get doubled all damn day, and they're going to either try to force the ball to him or they're going to be forced to go elsewhere, and that really doesn't do much good. So, and plus the fact that I don't know how many times you see him just blowing by somebody. He's got
Wide
two
open.
steps on somebody, and he has to stop, turn around, and out jump them for the ball. So when you say he can't break into that next level, you got to kind of put a lot of that on his quarterbacks, and you got to kind of put a lot
It's
of that on the fact that
100% on his quarterback.
That's what I was going to say.
there's
Look at
nobody
his
else
numbers.
opposite him. Even if you didn't have a great quarterback, if you got somebody opposite you that can take some of that coverage away, you can perform. You can do all right. But he doesn't have anybody. There's nobody over there that's dragging that safety over. There's always going to be somebody over the top looking at him. So,
I just say you look at the numbers with the shit quarterbacks that he's had since he's joined our squad. His numbers are just fine. I can't imagine what his numbers can't imagine what his numbers would be like with a quarterback that can actually throw the ball downfield.
No, he is a top 10 receiver. Maybe in a top 5 with a good quarterback.
Top 5, that's rough.
Yeah,
I'm telling you, man, he's good. I think he's that good.
I mean, he's got the talent, he's got the potential, but he hasn't been able to show that yet because you just can't see it.
I'd believe Jesse, but he also thinks Scott Turner's the greatest offensive coordinator in the history of the NFL. I never said
he's the greatest. I just think he's a very good one, and he's going to be a head coach before a lot of people think. I'll put that guarantee in writing. Blood.
Speaking of the coordinators, did you see Jack Del Rio yesterday getting kind of snooty with the reporters, laughing when they asked they asked him if he expected to be back next year, and he's like, "I don't even know why this is a question." Of course, yeah, I'll be back.
He said, "I will be."
I fucking hope not. I fucking hope not.
He will
be.
Right.
He will be.
That's ridiculous. See, this is one of the things that I get tired of with these old-time coaches, man. And it's this loyalty factor that they have to people that have succeeded with them in the past. That's the past. That is the past. And I don't, for the life of me, understand how you cannot watch how Jack Del Rio has mismanaged this defense from last offseason on.
John's weekly rant on Del Rio.
That's right. I'm about tired of Jack Del Rio. I'm about tired of it.
Making a regular segment on this
Damn
one.
Right. Yes, that's right. We haven't done a Keith's Corner in a while. So we'll have John jacking off on Jack Del Rio. Fuck him.
Jesus Christ.
All right. So we got a game coming up this week, right?
We do. Got a game.
We do.
Got a game. We got to play the New York Giants up in New York.
And we got to win. Got to win.
Yeah, I want to win. And I really love to beat the Giants. I want to win, and I want to have the cameras up on the owner's box when freaking John Mara stands up and throws his chair around and I kind of like it. Starts smacking fucking red Solo cups around in his owner's box. I want to see it.
Isn't there starting QB Jake Fromm?
I think so.
Glennon's out.
Is Glennon out?
Glennon's out.
Oh wow, I didn't hear that.
Yeah. Oh wow. Who cares?
He said, "Oh wow."
I might pick them to win this week. I might pick them to win this week then.
Oh wow, Glennon's out. We're all right. Yeah. Look, if they can't beat this fucking team, their bags are packed last week. Joe Judge is an idiot. That dude is mouthing off like crazy. Did you see Ron Rivera's comments this week about what Joe Judge had to say?
Yeah. It's
he basically said, "I'm not paying attention to this," but by saying that he knew about it, yeah, you were paying attention to this. So I have a feeling he's going to go up and rub Joe Judge's nose in it. I liked, what was it? Dan Orlovsky called him Timmy Toughnut. You can't go out there and talk.
Yeah, so
that was cute. I think I said that on the last show because we get screwed up now. I think the last time we did this was Tuesday. So, Keith, give me a key to the game. How are we going to beat the Giants?
Score more points than them.
You are a fucking genius, and I don't care what anybody says because
that's right on, man. That's right on.
Yeah, they tell me what's the matter with him? Did somebody drop him on his head? And I was like, no, he's really smart. You watch.
I'm trying telling you guys, I'm smarter than you think.
I firmly believe it. All right, so score more points. That's very good for a key to the game. Jesse, how about you? You got something with a little bit of depth in it?
Taylor Heineke's got to play within himself. He's got to know his limits, and it's going to be cold. It's going to be windy. It's in New York, and always is this time of year, obviously. And shorter passes and just don't overthrow yourself. What he's has done lately, and it's got himself into trouble.
Tell you what, if he could overthrow anybody, I'd be fucking thrilled. That would be awesome. I don't think he can. All right, I'll be a little bit deeper, and I'll go into the defensive side. And the first thing that you got to do is tell Jack Del Rio to stay the fuck home, because I'm tired of him. And you stop Saquon Barkley and whoever the tight end is this week, Evan Engram, whoever's coming out there lining up a tight end. You stop those two players, and you should feast. You should feast. They shouldn't allow more than freaking 7 points in this game. If they do,
that's true.
10 at the most. They should feast on this. Jake Fromm ain't beating anybody. Nobody. So even Bunmi Rotimi, he's going to get his sack. Shakatoni, he's going to get a sack. I say Tuhill, he's going to get a sack. John Allen's going to get 2 sacks. I'm calling for 5 sacks. The New York Giants this week.
5 sacks.
Smoking.
You heard it here first.
38-10, and that's going to make all the Hivers go, oh, he's our quarterback for next year. Look what he did to this sorry-ass Giants in the last game of the season. But that's what it's going to do. It'll give us all something to talk about until the second when we get to find out that the name's going to be the Commanders.
A little off topic here, but future quarterback
kind of the point of the show.
Debate. A name has been floating around the past couple of days. I want to hear your guys' take on it, but Baker Mayfield.
Right. You know what? I'd be more interested in Mitchell Trubisky for a reclamation project. I would.
Think I'm with you on that. Keith, what do you think?
No, I don't want any of them. Stay far away.
No, I necessarily don't need, because I don't see that much difference between Baker Mayfield and Taylor Heineke.
No, I don't either. Mayfield's got a lot more talent to work with, and he just hasn't been able to do it. So, I mean, he's been hurt this year. He's had a lot of injuries this year, so I can't really hold too much of it against him. I mean, the man's out there playing with a freaking shoulder that got dislocated all over the place, and then another one that got dislocated all over the place. But at the same time, dude, you've got the best set of running backs in the league practically. You've got wide receivers that should be, in the all-pro discussion all the time. You fuck it up so bad that, a clean living, quiet guy like Odell Beckham Jr. cries to get out of town. And I'd rather, if we're going to go the reclamation route, which I'd rather not, I'd take Trubisky over him.
Yeah, Trubisky did have some pretty good games, and he came on at the end pretty well.
Yeah.
But if I had a choice, I'd probably take Trubisky over Mayfield as well. I don't want neither one of them. I'd like, I'd rather either get, one of the big, make a big trade for an Aaron Rodgers or Russell Wilson or someone like that, or just go the rookie route, which was probably more likely what we're going to do this offseason.
Trubisky beat the shit out of us on a Monday night.
He sure did.
He sure as hell did.
He looked real good that Monday night too.
Well, the defense, Clinton Dix gave him a lead with about 10 seconds out of the first quarter, first play of the game or something like that. All right, so Aaron Rodgers came up. That brings up something that I wanted to ask you guys about. This is just a general NFL thing. It's not necessarily the Washington football team, because there's really not a whole lot to talk about with this Giants game. It's the last game of the season, and they suck. We should smoke them. Aaron Rodgers and this Hub Arkush is his name. He's a MVP voter who basically looks like he's injecting politics into the MVP vote. What do you think of it?
I think it's total bullshit.
Bullshit. Yeah,
bullshit.
I think
it's 3 bullshits from the Bleeding Burgundy podcast.
I'm not a fan of Aaron Rodgers, the person. I love him as a player, but that's fucked up, man. Like politics doesn't have anything. It shouldn't have anything to do with play on the field.
Nope. This is about football, and that's all there is to it. I mean, if he wants to say that his non-vaccinated status cost them a game, whatever. It didn't cost them shit because they're the number 1 seed, right? It really didn't cost them anything in the long run. But if he wants to bring this bullshit about he lied, I don't know that he lied. He didn't fucking tell the media the truth, but I don't see where he's obligated to tell the
People
media the
lie
truth.
every fucking day. That has nothing to do with the play on the field.
And it's not even
Yeah,
that.
I
Did he
mean-
lie to the NFL? Did he tell them his status? That's if he did that, then he's not lying to you, the media, if he doesn't tell you the truth, because he's not obligated to tell you shit anything.
Yeah.
So, again, once again, the media thinks they're way over important. Now you got to keep it to the play on the field when you're voting for the MVP or any of these honors.
Yeah,
Somebody brought up-
100%. And listen, that guy should be stripped of
Sure,
any
of his-
ability to place a vote whatsoever. And I don't care that he got on social media and put out an apology. Listen, you can go fuck yourself. And here's why I say that. Because, again, bringing in this political bullshit and people not believing in vaccines and people believing in vaccines, that shit has nothing to do with football. And I know people that listen to this will say, well, it does, because if you don't get the vaccine and you have it affects your teammates, it affects their lives. And
That's the choice that you make.
Right. At the end of the day, I don't care what your stance is. If you want vaccine, go get it. If you don't, you don't. It is what it is. Everyone's going to live their life the way that they want to. And the NFL damn sure is not going to pressure someone, especially of Aaron Rodgers, to go and get that vaccine. He has every right to not want to go get that vaccine.
Right.
Whether
And as long
I
as
think
he
it's
was
right,
upfront,
whether I think it's wrong. And the problem is social media gives that outlet where everyone throws their inputs in. And unfortunately, right now, we look at a social media world where it's all liberal. So therefore, anything that these guys do that is against anything dealing with the vaccine, right? These people are going to clamor on top of that, and they're going to destroy a man. But at the end of the day, that doesn't change the fact that that man is definitely MVP on that football field, and his football play speaks for itself. And he pretty much told everyone this season to kiss his ass. I don't like Aaron Rodgers either. I think that his personality, I think he sucks, right? I think he's 100% a dickhead, right? But at the end of the day, he don't care what I think. I'm a nobody to him. Just like he said that dude's a bum. He's going to say that he would say you're a bum too. And he'd be 100% correct, because he's the one playing a dream that I wish I could do. So
yeah, I mean, look, Kirk Cousins does not belong in the MVP vote whatsoever. But when you want to bring up players of their vaccinated status and everything like that, for fans, there is something to it, because it can cost your team down the line. And you, as a fan, you can be concerned about that. You can't say, oh, I think everybody should be vaccinated. I would like all my teammates and all my guys on my team to be vaxxed, so we avoid this. And look what happened to the Vikings last week. All right. Kirk Cousins, who famously would not get vaccinated, they were playing for their lives last week, but he wasn't there. So he took the chance. They paid the price. That's why fans are interested in that sort of thing. But if Rodgers decides that he doesn't want to do it, and again, if he didn't lie to the league about his status, I don't give a shit what he told the media. And his play on the field should be the only thing that comes to any of this stuff. Now, something that came up that was kind of a comparison was how the Hall of Fame voters treated Terrell Owens. All right, but Terrell Owens, while he was controversial and he was a bit of an asshole to the media, they held a personal grudge against him, and that is also bullshit. At the same time, though, it's completely different. It's completely different, because if you want to go after somebody for their freaking political beliefs, well, goddamn, Tom Brady's a freaking conservative, and I will tell you this too. Well, for one, I don't like using that word conservative for what we see in the modern right now. I'm a conservative, but those people are fucking crazy. Tom Brady and almost all of these guys are incredibly fucking rich. Guess who they're going to vote for? The people that are going to give them as best breaks as they can. So be careful when you start throwing politics into this shit, because you don't know how far it's going to go and how far you're going to be down that rabbit hole before you get backed into a corner where you have to say, well, I can't vote for Tom Brady for the Hall of Fame because he had a Donald Trump hat in his locker. And then look how stupid you look.
Look, there's a company right now that I forget what it is, and I probably shouldn't speak on it, but there's a company right now saying that another booster is due. Like, bro, I'm not sticking my arm 5 fucking times for this shit. Okay. Simple as that. I'm just not doing it. I'm vaccinated. I did what I had to do, and it is what it is.
Well, let's not go down into that area. We're not a political show. We're just talking about freaking Aaron Rodgers and his football play and that kind of stuff. Blah, blah, blah. So let's get to picks. Ready to pick?
Let's do it.
All right, then.
Where do we stand so far?
Right now, you have a commanding lead of 143 correct answers. And Jesse and I are tied at 133. So you're going to have to completely fall off the wagon this week. And Jesse and I are going to have to fight it out to see who can catch up. All right. So there we go. And with that said, now remember, everybody, these sound like low totals for victories because we started in week 3 because we just couldn't care less. All right. The Chiefs and the Broncos starting off on Saturday afternoon. The Chiefs traveling to Denver are going to kick the shit out of them. That's what I say. Of course, I said that last week about the Bengals. But
yeah, the Chiefs are going to win.
Yeah.
Oh, didn't I call for a Bengals win? Didn't I call for a Bengals? I thought
you did,
so.
and then you went ahead and you offset it with a Lions call. So there you go. All right, the Cowboys and the Eagles. See, this week is tough because you don't know who's going to play who. You know who's playing for these teams. It could be a lot of guys resting. The Cowboys could be resting a lot of guys. Somebody said that the line is only 4.5 for the for Cowboys are favored by 4.5.
It's down to 4.
4. And this is why, because nobody knows who's going to be playing. Seedings are practically set. And I don't think that Dallas has a chance at the top seed. So what does it matter to them? So they might sit some players. The Eagles are in no matter what, right? They can't get knocked out. They're the wild card.
Yeah,
right?
I think they're in. Yeah.
Yeah, they're in.
They might sit players.
They got in they clinched it with a win against us last week.
Yeah, and if I'm them, I sit Jalen Hurts. I'm gonna.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with the Cowboys on this one.
Okay. Yeah. I think that the Cowboys got their asses kicked last week, although it got close at the end. They were getting their asses kicked, but it got close at the end.
Yeah.
I'm going to take a wild here, and I'm going to put the Eagles. I'm taking the Eagles on this.
Okay.
Good. Give me the Cowboys.
All right, you can have the Cowboys. All right, the Bengals and the Browns, the hapless fucking Browns, who Baker Mayfield isn't even going to play for this week, are going to go up against the team that went right by them, blew right by them. And I'm going to pick the Bengals.
Yeah, I'm going with the Browns.
In Cleveland, you're going with the Browns?
I'm going with the Browns. I don't think anybody's going to be playing in Cincinnati.
I don't think it's going to matter. Fuck the Browns. Who are you taking, Keith?
Yeah, give me the Bengals.
All right, taking the Bengals. All right, Steelers and the Ravens. Ben Roethlisberger's last game, and it's going to be in Baltimore.
Baltimore.
Now, I know already I've heard that Lamar's not going to play. It's going to be that other guy again.
Huntley. I like Huntley, though.
Huntley's all right.
Yeah.
Yeah, give me the Ravens.
Yeah, I'm going to take the Steelers. So, because Ben is going to have his game on his last time, his last go. All right, the Packers and the Lions. Jesse's taking the taking the Lions, just like always, right?
Yeah. Well, Green Bay is only favored by 3.
Because Aaron Rodgers is not going to play. Devontae Adams is not going to play. They're not going to play Aaron Jones. They're not going to play.
Yeah, I'm going to take the fucking Lions. Fuck it.
I'm taking the Lions too. Fuck it. There ain't nobody playing for Green Bay. I'm taking them. Fuck it. First time of the year, probably the first time of the freaking decade that I'm taking the Lions. All right, Keith, who you taking?
Packers.
Good. That sounds good to me. We're catching up already. All right, the Colts and the Jaguars. Colts, are they in?
The Colts are in. Yeah, they won their division.
All right, so they could probably sit.
Wait, no.
The Titans
are
winning their division.
Yeah, the Titans won the division. But Colts, Jaguars, Colts are favored by. Colts are playing for playoffs, I think.
For their lives. Let me see playoff picture.
Colts.
The Colts are going to win.
All right, let me take a look at this while it comes up here.
I don't even know why we're spending time on this.
The Colts are right now the 6th seed, so they're in there. And the Chargers
have to win, I think.
So I'm taking the Colts anyway because the Jaguars are just god awful. All right, the Bears and the Vikings. Who are you taking on this big game? This big game. Kirk Cousins' final game is a Viking, where he collects that final gigantically huge overrated paycheck and goes off into the sunset.
The Vikings are going to win this game.
Oh, no, they are not. I am taking the Chicago Bears, who've been playing hot as of late. Yeah, I'm taking the Bears. And they're going to win this game because the Vikings, they're demoralized. Mike Zimmer doesn't want to see Kellen Mond. I think Mike Zimmer sounds like an asshole in these freaking press conferences. It's different when Bill Belichick sounds like that, but Zimmer just comes off as a dick. All right, who are you taking, Keith? Big moment.
Take your buddy.
Go with Kirk.
No, every time I take the Vikings, they let me down. So Bears.
Right.
All right. All right. The Titans, the current number 1 seed in the AFC, playing against those who can figure out Houston Texans.
Oh, the Titans are going to win.
Yeah, Titans.
I think I'll take the Titans in that too, even though the Texans are playing at home. The Saints are playing the Falcons, which brings up something else that has been kind of going around. Calvin Ridley's name has been popping around now that it seems like his little romance with the Falcons is over. And of course, fans from this area who it doesn't matter. I think if a player flat out died, they'd be like, we should sign him.
Yeah.
Oh, we should sign him. That dude was good. Look, would you want to sign Calvin Ridley? Trade for Calvin Ridley?
I wouldn't trade for him.
I tell you
what. He's got good talent, but I don't know, man.
He left the team halfway through the season.
Yeah.
All right. Now, I mean, he might have some mental issues and all that, but that's a big, giant red flag.
Yeah.
Big, giant. Somebody asked me today if I'd say the same thing if he had an ACL, and no, I wouldn't, because the ACL is a physical thing. I can see whether it's healed or not. I got a doctor can tell me. Mental, it's a whole different area, you know, and if you're going to pay this guy what you think his talent deserves a lot, the talent,
he's talented. He's definitely talented.
Huge talent. But
I'm not trading. I'm not giving up assets for him. No.
I don't want to give up anything for him. I think there's plenty of wide receivers going to be available. Steer clear. I think that he's just got big red flags all over him. That said, the Saints are going to win.
Yeah, I think the Saints are going to win this game too.
What about you, Keith?
Saints.
All right, the Saints are on the bubble. They need to win to get in. So, yeah, or they need to win to at least stay alive. So, yeah, they're going to whoop up on the Falcons. Poor Matt Ryan. All right, the Seahawks, who scored 50 points last week, are going to go against the Cardinals, who finally got off the fucking mat and beat the Cowboys last week and actually looked pretty good all the way up until about the fourth quarter. You know, they look like the Cardinals from the first 7 weeks until the fourth quarter.
Cardinals are going to win.
Yeah. All right. I'll say the Cardinals because this will be Russell Wilson's last game with the Seahawks until he comes to Washington.
Okay.
Yeah. Who you taking there, Keith?
Taking the Cardinals.
All right, all three of us on the Cardinals. Now, just because Scott hates it, the Jets. I've got a 20-minute story about the Jets. Once upon a time. All right, they're playing the Bills. You know, I'm watching Good Morning Football this morning. Peter Schrager made a point, which really isn't a point other than that always in the last week there's some small upstart team that beats up on a team that goes into the playoffs and really just trips them up. And the Jets, they almost did that to the Bucs last week, right? Bucs had to beat them in the last minute. So I'm picking the Jets this week. They're going to upset the Buffalo Bills.
I'm picking the Bills.
Of course you are. Smart pick. That's why I'm picking the Jets.
Go ahead, pick the Jets, Keith. Don't be a pussy.
Nope. I'm going with the Bills.
All right. I think both of you are being pussies. Stand up. All right, the Panthers, the hapless Panthers, they're playing against the Bucs, and I think the Panthers have no chance in hell. So off to the offseason with another Matt Rule-filled fun fest.
It just depends on how much Tom Brady plays. I know he likes to play in these last games. I don't think he ever likes sitting out or resting. But yeah, the Bucs are going to win.
Yeah, even with Sam Darnold coming back, I think that actually gives the Bucs a better chance.
Yeah, you can give me the Bucs.
You know,
so Sam Darnold's back.
Yeah, he played last week, and he played the week before that. But last week he played a lot. And you know, this when Sam Darnold gets hit, he gets fucking nailed. You know what I mean? Some quarterbacks, they take a hit. You know, they get tackled or whatever, they get sacked. But some quarterbacks, when they get hit, you can see every freaking part of them quivering with the impact. And he's one of them. He just gets destroyed. And it's always funny looking. So we're all three on the Bucs there. Sam Darnold's a big blockhead. All right, the Patriots and the Dolphins. Dolphins are fighting for their life here.
They are, and they've been playing very, very well lately.
Well, they got the shit kicked out of them last week.
Well,
they scored. They got the hell beat out of them. What, like 31-3?
Man, I guess the
Pats,
Pats, but
are they out? Yeah, they're out.
Yeah, they're out.
Dolphins are out.
I'll go with the Pats.
I don't see Bill Belichick resting people, but yeah, I'll take I'll take the Dolphins at home.
Resting people doesn't. That's not.
I think it's a
so much a
detriment.
thing, right? Yeah, like it's hard because I haven't really did my research to see like who's actually in, who's playing for home field, who's this, who's that. But I think players sitting, I get it because you don't want to risk injury. I just feel like it's happening less and less over the years than it was 10 years ago.
Because less and less these divisions are decided too soon. I mean, more and more now they're decided in the last weekend. So they've done a good job with scheduling to make sure that they don't rest because they've got to play these guys to get in. Right. Even like right now, the Titans and the Chiefs are the number 1 and 2 seed in the AFC, but they're both 11-5. So this game is big for both of them. Even though they're both in, they're clinched, but they're both in. So, home field advantage doesn't mean that much. I think for Cincinnati it does.
Sure.
Excuse me, for the Chiefs it does. All right, so let's see. We've got the 49ers and the Rams.
Yeah, this is one of the bigger games of the week, but I think the Rams are going to kick the shit out of the 49ers. I think 49ers are fake.
Yeah, you said so last week. You said they were fraudulent. And today you are falling back to fake. I agree. They are. And I think that they're going to go home because the 49ers are they're frauds. I'm taking the Rams.
Yeah, you can give me the Rams.
Biggest game of the week. Sunday Night Football.
All right, sorry about that. I had to hack my lungs up again.
All right.
Let's see. Yeah, Sunday Night Football. This is the final game of the season, and it's a win and in for the Chargers or the Raiders. Now, it had been brought up all week long that if certain things fall the right way during the season, both of them can get in if they just tie. I can't see that happening. This is the Raiders and the Chargers. They fucking hate each other. They hate each other. So this is going to be a slobber knocker, I think. It's going to be a knockdown, drag-out fight. And if one team decides that they've already got in and they're going to lay down, the other one's going to mop the floor up with them. So I am taking the Raiders, who seem to have some mojo working. I don't know what it is, man. Ghosts of John Madden?
Yeah, I'm taking the Chargers. I don't think the Raiders play very well at home. It's usually away games, but then again, Chargers don't really have a whole bunch of fans anyways. So that's kind of
they don't really have a home.
Yeah. But yeah, no, I'm taking the Chargers. I think Justin Herbert's going to have a big game. Austin Eckler, and yeah.
Yep, the whole bunch. All right, Keith, who you taking?
It's kind of a tough one. I think it's going to be a good game. I think it's going to be a really good game. It's going to be
fun to watch. Yeah.
Yeah.
For sure. I'm glad that. Let's see. You're taking the Raiders. Okay. Yeah. I'm taking the Raiders as well. And thankfully, because this is on a Sunday night game, and I do want to watch that big game, I'll have time to take a nap because the Washington football team plays the Giants at 1:00, and that's going to just be a snoozer. Actually, no, I think I hate the Giants. I hate them more than any team on planet Earth. I know everybody thinks you should hate the Cowboys because you're a Redskins fan. I don't know. I hate the fucking Giants more than any of them. I like beating the Giants more than any of them. And I don't care if they've got Jake Fromm playing quarterback. I don't give a shit if they had Sally Fromm playing quarterback. Go in there and mash his fucking head. Picking the Washington football team big, 35-10.
Yeah, I'm going Washington as well. I'm going to go Washington. Sentinels are going to win 27-7.
27-7.
Yeah, I'm not predicting the score, but you can give me the Hogs taking the win.
Taking the Commanders here. So this will be the last game of the Washington football team. They've lasted all of 2 years, and a sad farewell.
Farewell to the Washington football team. What do you guys? How do you guys feel about that?
I couldn't give a shit. I found out once we got rid of the Redskins name that it really doesn't matter to me anymore. I couldn't give a shit what you call it. I really couldn't. I can just call it Washington if I don't like what you called it. They call them the feathered lizards. Okay, it's Washington.
Looking at a lot of people's tweets, and I pay attention to what the people are saying. A lot of them are young.
You're a man of the people.
No, people don't care about me. It's fine. But I read what a lot of people are saying, and a lot of the younger gen is definitely, no matter the name, is looking to eat up that merchandise the minute it gets released. Me, personally, I don't care what name we are. It is what it is. This was not my choice. It was forced upon all of us. At the end of the day, I'm still wearing this hat. It is what it is. I'll buy a hat. I'll support the team. But honestly, unless they come up with a name that really does introduce the past history, I'm just going to stay retro, baby. It is what it is. But I'm not mad. I'm not mad anymore. It is what it is.
Here's a way that we can bring up past history. We can call them the Joe Theismann used to field punts. The Washington Joe Theismann used to field punts, because if you've ever watched a preseason game, on every punt, he makes sure you know he used to field punts. And that'll bring up the past, and we can all say, oh, yeah, I remember that. That's right. So anyway. All right, well, then this will be the last episode of the Washington football team's version of the Bleeding Burgundy podcast. As long as we stay Burgundy, I'm happy with that.
Yeah.
I don't want a black alternative. I think black alternative uniforms are passe. I think that they got popular because fucking gangbangers used to wear the Raiders all the time, and that got popular because people went, oh, that's cool. Look,
stop it. The Eagles uniforms are pretty badass when they were all black.
Yeah.
But that's where the black alt came from, was because people wanted to capture the market of the people who thought everything was cool, man. The black alts were cool, and that was one of the reasons why they got that name, because they kept appearing in, videos and things like that.
I'll have to be honest though, that white jersey with the burgundy number and whatever that was going around, like that just looks weird to me. Like
it looked like a Buccaneers.
I'm not loving that, but
I don't want a black accent. It looked like a Buccaneers or a 49ers.
The font was weird too on the other jersey, but I don't know, man. A lot of people really hate the gold color being a predominant color, but I like it. Yeah, like I almost prefer to go that route, but a lot of people hate it. They hated the mustard pants. I get it, but at least they did something different, because those uniforms were tired as hell.
I just hated. I hated the R helmet, the yellow helmet.
Yeah,
I didn't like that at all.
I'm not a fan of that one either.
That was Vince Lombardi trying to recreate the Packers helmet for us when he came here.
Yeah.
I like the burgundy as the predominant color and gold as the accent color. When they showed those Color Rush uniforms where they dressed Trent up in that fucking bottle.
That did not look good.
The whole
I was like, you're not going to ever make them wear that, right? Oh my God, no.
Yeah, that's way too much. But I do like the emphasis of them using that color in the number. But again, this is just me sitting here being picky about shit. But and everyone here that's like, oh, I hate this, I hate that. The minute they put that uniform on a mannequin and they reveal it out, everyone's going to be spending their money. This is the nature of America. It's going to happen.
I noticed somebody posted a picture last week from the game of the team store, and they had Dwayne Haskins jerseys on clearance for like $29.95, and I'm like, $29? You're still gonna try to get $30 for this? Jesus Christ! Put them on sale for 10 cents.
Well, I saw
when you got all of them left over, give them to a fucking Goodwill place.
I saw them there cheaper than that. It was like the second or third game of the season, they were like $14.99 or something like that. Dwayne Haskins jerseys, they're really cheap.
I saw them for $2. We don't get a lot of gear here, but there was a store that opened up in one of our like lesser malls that isn't the most popular with kids. Some of the stores are dying out. Well, this company, I guess, moved into this spot because they wanted to get rid of just weird merchandise from so many different retailers, and my wife went in there and happened to see there was tons of Redskins stuff in there, but nothing really worth buying, because it was jerseys like Haskins, Jordan Reed,
right, guys that are gone.
Exactly. But the price of them were $2.
Listen, hey, Antonio Brown is now cleared waivers. Y'all want to sign him? No, I bet there's 50% of Washington fans that want to sign him.
So
guaranteed.
I think
I don't know how you can believe him.
I don't think that you'll see too much of that though, because he did indicate that he has to have foot surgery apparently. So he's not going to clear.
No.
Those jumping jacks he was doing at the end, so it looks like he
was running
surgery
through the end zone.
Yeah.
Look, the fact of the matter is, Ron Rivera is not going to take him anyway. He's not that kind of guy.
That was a joke. I don't want. He's fucking fucking cuckoo.
Of old jerseys and shit. My son Max listens to the show. By the way, COVID's gone. He's doing great.
Oh, it's good. Good.
Yeah.
Good job, Max.
But, when he was a kid, one of our relatives gave him a Tony Banks jersey. Was it Tony Banks, Max? He'll tell me. He'll tweet me and tell me after he hears the show. But it was like one of the most off the wall. Oh yeah, this one's $1.50 on clearance. Let's get it for Max for Christmas. I think it was Tony Banks. Y'all don't even know who Tony Banks is.
No, I sure do. Yeah, I do.
I'll tell you what, Tony Banks taught me a valuable lesson, and that was
Didn't he come from Baltimore?
No, he came from Dallas.
And then he went to Baltimore after us, I think.
He may have gone.
Yeah, I think he did.
No,
I think
he came. He came to us from. Either way, he was the quarterback at Baltimore in 2000 when we played them, and when they had their great season. Right, he got benched for Trent Dilfer, and we beat them. We were the first team that beat them, I think. And yeah, he was the quarterback of them, and then he went to Dallas, and then he came here. And I can remember, this is one of the things that taught me to keep my mouth shut, is because I was laughing at all the Cowboys fans, no matter what they say. I was saying to him all freaking summer and all through the spring, whatever. Shut your fucking mouth. Tony Banks is your quarterback. And lo and behold, they cut him and we signed him, and I felt like a fucking dipshit. Okay. So Mac will have to tell me whose jersey that was that he got, and we'll have some fun laughing about that. And I think that's all we got until we come back on Monday to discuss our gigantic victory over the New York Giants.
Yeah.
Let's go get Joe Judge fired.
Hail to the team.
Peace.